I'm just gonna record my screen. Okay, so go onto my classroom and go to classwork. Again, my work has been uploaded just right now. This is assignment 6 or week 6, and it has all the homework assignments and your due dates. If you guys notice, like this week has been kind of different because all the other classes, all the other teachers are also doing, their lessons on Google Classroom as well to avoid, going to school to pick up the packets. And then, yeah, I also have the assignments listed under. Another thing I did yesterday was if you go to the class folder, I don't know how your end looks like, but mine looks like this. I have a class folder. And then I loaded it earlier. Right. Yeah, if you open it, it will look like this. So it'll look like this right here with all the assignments listed. This is just a better way for those of you who haven't turned in, the previous work. I have all the video lessons linked on it. And if you finish the assignment, you can click on the due date or Dropbox and turn it in from there. Okay, so I will have week 6 ready soon once I have the video for the second lesson. Okay, I am going to see if you guys have any questions. Probably none of you have started on your homework since I barely uploaded the assignment. If you guys can take out a line paper, those of you who are in front of your computer, yeah, take out a line paper. So I'm gonna be doing the homework and then you can, write them down as well. So your homework, look up. Again, I have recorded this lesson. So those of you who came in late, you guys can watch the video lesson later. Let me see. So your homework, oops, that's algebra 2, this one. Okay, so yeah, your homework is transformations of trig functions, and it's basically 2 to 32 even. Okay, and then the first 2 assignments are due on Thursday. So let's look at the first type of questions. Hold on. Okay, for those of you who haven't watched the video yet that I made on yesterday, I'm gonna briefly talk about my notes so you have an idea what we're doing. We're gonna be doing transformation of trig functions. There are 3 words that you have to kind of know. There's range, amplitude, and period. Okay, again, range is the interval of value, y value. So if you have like, let me show a graph. Let me show a Desmos graph. Let's pretend I'm talking about like 5 cosine x, like this graph right here. Okay, so cosine x graph, it's like a V shape. Okay, so if I put a 5 in front of it, you guys notice how like it went from here to up here. Okay, it went from 1 to 5. So in that case, that means my y values have jumped from 1 to 5, and it also jumped from -1 to -5. Okay, look at the y value. So in this case, if I have to talk about my range, then it would be from the lowest point, which is -5, to the highest point, which is 5. Okay, that's why I said Desmos is really useful because you can just look at the graph and just determine it from there. Okay, this is 5 cosine x. And then for another word called amplitude, okay, amplitude just means that if I have a middle line of this red graph, I have a middle line, how far up did it go up and how far down did it go down? okay? And it's obviously 5. So it's always the number in front of cosine. If there's no number there, it'll be 1. But if there is a number multiplying to it, then it would be that number, 5. Okay. Last thing is called period. So period is, we're looking at a V shape. You see how this V shape just repeats and repeat before and after. So you just gotta tell me, if we start from 0, when does this V shape end? Okay, it goes V, goes up here. So it ends at 2 pi. So that means the period is just 2 pi. Okay. Another way to look at that, let me see, is this part right here. This formula. Oops, you guys are not looking this here. So this formula right here that I just circled. So whatever this number is in front, inside the sine or cosine, you just put it under 2 pi. That would be the period. Okay. Let me do your homework questions. So you guys have a sense of what I'm doing.
Ms. Yan.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Are you gonna upload these notes on Google Classroom?
What I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
I'm recording my lesson.
Okay, thank you.
But then do you guys see the notes from the video lesson from before? Anyone saw my video or have looked at the link? Did I upload it?
Of your YouTube videos, or which one?
My YouTube video? Yeah.
Which one exactly?
Monday and Tuesday. Oh yeah, I think I uploaded this one right here. Monday and Tuesday Dropbox. So I already have the YouTube link for these pages that I did before, like on the left side. So I already kind of went over all of that already. Yeah.
Did you
Emiliano?
see my comment when
How's Emiliano in this? Wait, should I let Emiliano in? No.
Yeah, you should let him in.
No, I remove him.
Nah.
Wait, hold up.
You saw my comment about the test, Lydia?
About the test? Oh, about like you forgot to submit it?
Oh,
until
me too.
now?
Yeah.
Or
I
until
submitted
later?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. It's fine. Don't worry about
Okay,
being
good.
late. Yeah.
All right. 'Cause
You're
I was
okay,
like,
you're
oh
okay.
my God, I'm so
Ms. Yan, have
close.
you graded the test by any chance or no?
No, I haven't. I've been trying to like organize all these week stuff, but I will get it done by this week for sure. All your tests. Hold up. Let me go back to this question. So again, if you can open up your homework so you know what I'm doing. You guys have this question right here. It's like they would give you a function and then they ask you to, sketch it. There's 4 parts to each question. Sketch it, find the range, amplitude, and period. Okay, so starting now, if, after the first question, you don't have to write out all the words. You can really just write out like R, A, and P. Oops, you're not looking at what I'm writing. You can just write out R, A, and P, okay, instead of the whole entire word. So sketch. You are sketching from negative pi to pi. I'm gonna go back to this. I'm gonna set up a negative pi on this side and a pi on the other side. Okay, and you really just gotta go to decimals and just type it in. I'm gonna type -5 sine x. And you can change the wrench. Again, I suggest you guys to change the wrench, the steps for x-axis by like pi related. You can even just put pi there. And then it will be like nicer. It wouldn't be decimals. Okay, so I just need to go from this point, negative pi, to pi. You just have to draw this shape right here. Okay, in the middle. So I'm gonna go to here and just draw that up. Okay, so now you guys are gonna help me answer. I'm gonna click on all these points that's necessary. Negative pi to pi. So this is the picture. I click on all these points. Can you guys tell me what would be the range? Anyone can jump in and answer. Again, range is what's the highest, lowest value to the highest value.
Negative pi.
Negative 5 and 5. That's it. Okay, and then how, if we have the middle line right here on the x-axis, then how far up do we go and how far down do we go?
5.
5. So this is your answer. Okay. And then period, because a sine graph looks like an S, okay? A sine graph looks like an S, and if I show the whole entire thing, you know how like this is the S, and then the S continues again, and then another S continue. So from, technically from here to here, I can't cover my screen. Yeah, so from 0 to 2 pi, that's one cycle. Okay, and then another cycles begin again from 2 pi to 4 pi again. So every 2 pi, there's a new cycle. That's why our period is just 2 pi. Okay, so that's from the graph way. I can show you that from the formula way. You guys would notice that right here, there's like an invisible 1, right? I'm gonna put that 1 at the bottom of 2 pi, and my answer will just be 2 pi. That's your answer to find, I mean, that's how you find period if you don't really understand how to read the graph for period. Okay, so that's it for number 2. I'm gonna keep going for number 4. Actually, I think I did number 4. I'm just gonna do it again. Okay, I'm not gonna do the sketch starting now. You guys can just like type it in and just sketch it. Oops, someone wants to join in. Joanna, oopsie, got her in too early. Oops. Okay. Sine negative 5x. Okay. Wait, hold up. Okay. Yeah, so negative 5x looks like this. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So you just have to click the lowest point and highest point and write down your range. So you guys write this down.
1, negative 1.
1, negative 1. We go from smallest and biggest. And then again, the middle line is still at 0. So our amplitude, our A is still 1. Okay, period. Period, this one is a little bit different now. Period, again, we go 2 pi over whatever number is next to x, and I take that number to the bottom, which is negative 5. Okay, I can't do anything to 2 pi over negative 5, so it'll just be 2 pi over negative 5. But since we're talking about like a cycle, it has to be a positive number. So it's just 2 pi over 5. Okay, you can take the absolute value of that, which is 2 pi over 5. And if you notice, we start from 0, we finish this S right here. Okay, this number, 2 pi over 5. Okie dokie, yeah. Okay, let me continue. Let's look at number 6. 4 sine 5x. I'll show you the question actually. So the question right here, they're saying that, move this over. They're saying that if this is my graph right here, it's like a sine graph, right? And then they want number 6 to be 4 sine 5x. Then what is the value of b? So how far up did we go? So if you look at the number, remember the first number really determines how far up we go, how far down we go. So it's really just 4. Okay, so b is just equal to 4. And they only ask for b. Okay. I'm gonna have you guys do number 8. I'll show you how number 8 looks like. So number 8 is this question. They're finding the value of a. Okay, that means from here to here, how long does it take to finish a cycle? Okay, and that relates to period. Can you guys write down the question for number 8? Not the question, but just the function. And tell me, how do we determine the period? And do that right now. And while you're doing this, I'm going to see. Are you guys like working on it together with me? Or you're just at work? Is anyone at work right now? No? Okay. Okay, anyone want to answer this? How do I find the period for number 8? It is 9 sine 6x. You can kind of refer to number 4. Are you guys confused? No one's answering. Are you guys here? All your mics are off.
Okay. Do you put it over 2 pi?
We put 2 pi first, and then we put it over a number. What number do I put under this?
6.
Okay, so 5. Yeah, we just put the 6 under.
6.
Yep. And
Wow.
then simplify this, it would just be pi over 3.
Over 3.
So that's your A. That's just your A. Okay, because again, they're looking for how long does it take to finish a cycle, and it's just pi over 3. That's the answer. Okay, 2 more questions and then we're done with this section. I did number 12 for you already in the notes. So I'm just gonna do number 10. Okay, number 10 shows that sine x minus c. They're like, what is c? What is the value of smallest value of c so that it will overlap the graph? So again, so far your graph from the question look like this. Okay, they're like, hey, if I want x minus something in here, that it will overlap the graph, but it has to be a positive number. Okay, so if I put sine x minus like pi, you see how it's not overlapping? So what should I subtract that it will just like land right on the red graph? Any ideas? Or you guys can tell me for the red graph, how long does it take for a cycle to finish? How long does it take for a S to finish writing? If I start from here, and then I finish the roller coaster down and then back up, right? It stops at 2 pi. Okay, so that means it's gonna start again from 2 pi all the way to 4 pi. So if I shift this graph, I shift the graph, oops, let's put A. I move this to the right side, like right there, it would be right on top, okay? It says 6.3, but it's not really 6.3. It's 2 pi. Okay, because if I have my original graph and I move 2 pi over, it will just be overlapping itself. And then it will overlap itself again at when it's 4 pi, when it's 5 pi doesn't overlap, but 6 pi overlap. Any even number pi, it will overlap itself. Okay, but the smallest would be 2 pi. So going back to number 10, the C value would be 2 pi. And I just finished your Monday's homework for you. Okay, any questions? No? Okay, I'm not gonna continue doing the questions yet. You'll do it yourself. I'll write down 14 and 16, but I am not answering any questions until you guys provide me with some type of answer, okay? I'll write down RAP. And then you guys go on to your decimals, type the function in, and then tell me the range, amplitude, and the period. Okay? If you want to check your answer with me, but you don't want to say it out loud, you can go to the chat and let me find where the chat is now. Yeah, go to the chat and just type it to me only, not to everyone. Okay, and then I will be able to see it. So do numbers 14 and 16 right now. Let me just stop sharing first. Is anyone confused? Okay. I don't know why you guys are so quiet. Let's look at number 14. 14 is the one in red. I should pick people and answer for me. Okay, so this is question number 14. You guys see my graph? You guys see the graph? I don't know. Yes? Okay, I'm gonna pick people. Let's pick, okay, let's pick Alexis first. Alexis, what is the range to this graph right here? Alexis here? Hello? Am I the only one in here? You guys are not
Yes, yeah.
talking. Yes.
Yeah. There's
Yes,
the
Ashley, thank you.
Now on the bottom it says like the pi over 2. It asks for the intervals to be pi over 3, so we would have to change that, right?
They asked the interval to be pi over 3? Like from pi
Yeah.
over 3 to from the
Yeah.
question?
From negative 3 pi to 3 pi. My bad.
Yeah. And then you just change. You just go to like the wrench and then you just change these two parts. Negative 3 pi to 3 pi like this. And you just
Okay.
draw that curve. Yeah. Okay. So, and then you know, like this graph, it's just gonna keep on doing this up and down, up and down. So if you guys have already typed this graph onto Desmos, can someone tell me what is the smallest and biggest number for y?
3 and 5.
3 and 5, yeah. And then you just write that for your y interval. I mean, sorry, for your range. You just put 3 comma 5. Okay, so if it's 3 comma 5, my middle line would be where? Where's the midline for this graph? Let's pick someone. Let's pick Brenda. Brenda, tell me where's the middle of this graph? If I go from 3 to 5, that means the middle number would be what? Brenda in here? Okay, Brenda is not talking. Let's pick someone else. Let's pick Sen. Sen is in here. Thank you. Oh, actually, thank you, Tatiana. It's 4. So 4 is in the middle. That means we are gonna go 1 up and 1 down. Okay, so your amplitude is gonna be 1. I'm gonna go back to, oops, actually I can't. Let me write it down here. Okay, so R is 3 to 5 and amplitude is 1. So now we have period. What's our period? How long does, if we start from 0, how long does it take before we repeat again? Okay, back to you, Sam.
2 pi.
Oh, thank you, someone.
Pi.
2 pi. They will be right here. Okay, that's your answer to number 14. Any questions? No? Okay, let's look at this graph now. Okay, let's look at this graph. It actually kind of went down here. Okay, but we can actually look just starting from, from 0, from right when it's 0, and then it goes up and it comes back down at 0. Okay, and for our range first, let me click away from this. What's our range in this case? What's the highest and lowest point? Oh. Okay. Again, feel free to type in the chat. No one's looking at the chat except me. Just send it privately to me, okay?
It's from -1 to 1.
This is our -1 and it goes up to 1. Okay. And then since it goes from -1 to 1, that means our amplitude is just 1. Because again, you look at what this number is right here. If you look at where my mouse is at, there's no number in front of cosine. The 4 is not multiplying to it. Okay. So yes, good job, Sam. That's the answer. So it's from 1. The A is just equal to 1. Okay. And do we have any numbers multiplying to x in cosine? If not, that means our period is always going to be 2 pi. Okay. Unless I put a random number in here like, I don't know, like 3. Oops, sorry. I meant this part. 3. Okay, if there's no number in here, I mean, if there is a number multiplying to x, then your graph is smaller. Let me show you. Your graph will go, the bigger number it goes, the more that it shrinks, like that. Okay. So these are your answer right here for number 16. Okay. Let me go back to the homework page. And you guys do number 18. And 20. 18 is this. And 20 is this one. Oops, that's not 20, that's 19. Okay, go ahead and do this and type me your answers when you're ready. So I'm gonna stop talking for a little bit. Those of you who are on the computer, if I'm sharing my screen, are you still able to go to Desmos on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Guys, real quick, for number 18, remember when you're trying to figure out what the period is, you want to take this whole entire, like 3 pi is considered a number. So put the whole entire 3 pi at the bottom of 2 pi. And then you tell me what does it simplify to be. Okay, if you're ready, can someone share their answers with us for number 18? All 3 of them? Nobody? Hmm. Okay, just to confirm that your graph looks the same as mine, it's like you put that and then you put 3 pi x. This looks pretty crazy, but let's start where the first one is, or where 0 is at. Let me see. Yeah, so you see how 0 is right here and it went up to the top. Let me zoom out. Okay, from here, and then it makes a V shape. And then it goes up here. Okay. I wonder why my numbers are, I put pi over 2. Nope. Oh, okay. Let's see. So it went all the way up here and it went this much below. So what is the range?
It's from -4 to 4.
Okay, -4 to 4. And then what is the amplitude?
Or
4. Yeah, that's it. And then, hold up. Range is
And then the other one
-4
is
to
2 over
4.
3.
Perfect. It's 2 over 3. Yeah. So period is, so period is 2 over 3 is because remember we always put 2 pi at the top over whatever is at the bottom, which is 3 pi in this case. So your pi's get canceled out, which is just 2/3 left. Okay, so hopefully you guys got that right. Okay. And then number 20. 20 looks pretty complicated. But let me do my graph and then you guys see if you have the same graph. Cosine, oh, there's a 6 in front. Cosine, 6 cosine pi over 3x plus 8 pi over 5. Okay, number 20, if you're really looking in your book, there's like 5 steps to it. Don't worry about the other 2 steps, just do range, amplitude, and period, and that's fine, A, B, and C. And this is how your graph looks like right now.
Miss, for the period, you said it only matters what's in front of the X, or does
Yes,
the
only what's in front.
okay?
So you're
So-
you're wondering like is 8 pi over 5 matters, right?
Whatever.
Are you wondering like if
Yeah.
8 pi over 5 matters? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just whatever is in front.
Okay.
So
thank
you kind of have to write it like, you know how it's 2 pi over, and it goes like that, right? This also equals to 2 pi times the reciprocal of the bottom part, so it will look like this. Okay, and then you guys tell me what is this equal to. And again, we are working on period. Range and amplitude. Okay, those of you who just joined, we are on number 20. So we've got the graph ready to go, and then we need the range and amplitude. Okay, besides Michelle, someone else tell me what would be the range for this question?
Hey, Ms. Yan,
Negative
since I got like out, so
6.
Yeah. Sorry, Alexis, what'd you say?
so you said everything's on the April 27th post for the video as well to see how you're teaching it.
For
'Cause, you know how-
yeah,
Is
like,
Jessica
okay,
on?
YouTube video is already there. And then
Mhm.
this Zoom one, I will post it later because we're
Okay,
still
that's fine
recording
then.
right now. Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
And then Jackie, sorry, what did you say? What would be the range for this?
Negative 6,6.
Negative 6,6, perfect. In brackets. Okay. And then someone else, what would be the amplitude for this? If I'm looking at the middle line, it would be 6. Good. And what would be our period in this case?
6 pi over pi.
6 pi over pi, and then those pi's get canceled
There's
out,
just
so
this.
it would be 6. That's it. Okay, those are your answers to number 20.
Miss Yan,
Yes.
Desi doesn't know what's going on.
Okay.
Yes, I do, Zian. She just.
No, you don't.
I
do.
would say you do. You sure?
No.
Okay. Okay. I would say you can go back and rewatch the video later when I post this, because it might be better if you rewatch it and look at or like do it on decimals as you're working along with me, because a lot of the time I think almost like everyone else, they just click on the points and then they see like, oh, the lowest is -6, the highest is 6. That's how they got the range.
Oh.
Okay. And then for this number right here, for this amplitude number that they got, it's really just what's in front of cosine or what's in front of sine. Okay. And then for period, it's what's inside the x or what's right next to the x. They put it under 2 pi and you just solve for this. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. I got 9 more minutes or less, and then I have to jump into my other session. The last few questions are almost the same. Let me see. Let me look at, share my desktop real quick. Okay, So this is your homework assignment. Again, it goes all the way to number 32 even. For Wednesday's homework, Wednesday's homework, you have to do number 22 to 32 even. And this one is a little bit different. They actually tell you, like, so if you're looking at my screen, wait, hold on. What happened if it's 8 pi over 5? Okay. So Sam just asked, like, what would happen to 8 pi over 5? This really just shifted to the left. And the reason why they included this is to answer letter D and letter E. If you don't have this, the graph will still look the same, except it just kind of shifted one way. Okay, hopefully I answer your question. Let's look at, go back to our Wednesday homework. Again, you are looking for 2 distinct values of A that gives the amplitude 17 over 5. Okay, so remember, amplitude is determined by the first number. So if amplitude is determined by the first number, this is your first number. Like, this is your A. But they are asking to find 2 distinct values. That means we can have a positive version and we can have a negative version. Does that make sense? Again, this number determines that already. This is the number. Okay. Number 24 is a little bit different. Remember, they are telling you that the period is 7 over 3. Okay, so if the period is 7 over 3, that means I gotta take a 2 pi over this number right here, which is B. I put B at the bottom, and it equals to 7 over 3. And then can someone tell us, how do I solve for B in this case?
You cross multiply.
Cross multiply, so we get 6 pi equal to 7B, right? And then to solve for B, we just divide by 7.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your answer. Oops, sorry, why did I put B there? Let's divide by 7. So if you guys can see, that's the answer to B. Okay. And then you guys can try to figure those out. Number, let me see, 32, you're fine. Number 32, by the way, this one, it looks a little bit more complicated. Definitely use your graphing calculator or use Desmos for all the questions. Okay. If you guys have more questions, feel free to send me a picture or send me of what your answer would be, and then I can confirm it with you. Okay. Next section, which is Thursdays and Friday homework, it's so much easier. It's a lot easier than Monday through Wednesday. I will post that video tomorrow, and if you guys want to, you can get started on that one early. Okay. Any last minute questions? Anything you want to update me? Any concerns? No? I'm gonna stop recording, okay? I'll stop sharing my screen.